All right. We're at Ruth. Ruth's story. Oh, she looks so sad. There's a clock tower, a train. You guys have to give me some grace as I butcher these words and names. I was born in Zwaku, which is in eastern Germany. There's quite a big mountain range that separated Germany from Czechoslovakia. These are called the Erzgebirge Mountains. Whew, I know I ruined that one. My father was in trouble with the Nazis. He took us all over the mountains, leaving everything behind, and went to Prague. But Hitler marched into Prague in March 1939. My father realized he was still on a Nazi wanted list, so he left my mother and went to Poland. It was extremely difficult for my mother to be left alone with two small children. The street by street, Jews were cleared, and at any moment it was probably our turn. My mother, she must have had a will of iron and great courage. Sounds like a mommy to me. She went from one embassy to another, trying to escape Nazis, and waited in line all night. And if she ever got to the desk, they said to her, "We will take you, but we can't take your two children." But my mother wouldn't separate us, so she hung on to us. The only thing she could think of was to hope that somebody would take her and the children. And she was rejected by everyone. But then, the miracle happened. A knock on the door meant death because it meant deportation. But for us, a knock on the door was the beginning of a new life. Because we opened the door to a woman from the British Embassy who had braved the curfew. Wow. She brought us an entry visa to Britain, train tickets to get through Germany through Holland, and a ferry ticket to Ramsgate, but the embassy lady did not have an exit visa. You were supposed to have an exit visa to cross, and she said, "You'll just have to say you're going to see your family in Holland. Take nothing that you could possibly show anyone that you're going for more than one day." Germany, Czechoslovakia. We made it through Czechoslovakia without any problem, and we got on the train in Germany. We sat down thinking, "Good, we've got a carriage to ourselves." Then a Nazi SS officer came and sat next to my mother. He was trying to flirt with her. The fact that he sat there now, that might have been her salvation, as the guards didn't ask for her papers. Off we went to the Hook of Holland and got on a ferry to Ramsgate. On the ferry, I kept saying, "When are we going to be in England? When it starts raining, you'll know we're in England." My mother got really fed up with me. As I was on the train, it began raining, and I must have been the only person there who was just totally thrilled, because I was in England. The next morning was Sunday, September 3rd, 1939. As we arrived in Liverpool Street Station, I put my foot on the platform. Suddenly, everything went quiet, and there was an announcement on the loudspeaker, and everybody stopped and stood perfectly still. The announcement was the British Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain saying, "I am speaking to you from the Cabinet Room at 10 Downing Street. This morning, the British ambassador in Berlin handed the German government a final note, stating that unless we heard from them by 11 o'clock, saying they were prepared once to withdraw the troops from Poland, a state of war would exist between us. I have to tell you that no such undertaking has been received, and that consequently this country is at war with Germany. Boom! That was 11 o'clock, September 3rd, 1939, as my foot hit the platform, and that was the beginning of the Second World War. Ruth's whole family was reunited shortly after their arrival in London. They were so lucky to be alive. Thank you.